Hello, welcome to a special, I guess not special, to CEB Show, but it's a sports edition. The topic has to do with simulation sports, which is a form of eSports, which is a form of gaming, but it's also competition. That's why I'm doing this on Back to Brag Sports and not Back to Brag Gaming. Which, by the way, there's a Back to Brag Gaming. You should go check it out. Anyway, I wanted to talk about sim sports. Okay, for those who don't know what that is, uh, this is how it works. For the most part, it's a basic description. Usually, whoever's running the league chooses a video game. It might be a modded version of a video game, a sports game to be specific. Uh, and then they have people enter a player. Some people pay to enter their player. Some leagues are free. Sorry about that. Anyway, like I was saying, either some leagues will charge an entry fee. Some people will charge to let people progress their character. So anyway, when you enter a character, usually it's custom to your request, like height, weight, sometimes your attributes. But anyway, the main thing is you pick a character, and during the season and throughout the year, you progress your character. And that's really the only way you can really play once you've entered your character. Um, Now this is my problem with a lot of sim sports, at least the team ones. There's some sim sports that are like wrestling or MMA or boxing, where you don't have anyone, you're not part of a team, so there's no manager or coach. But those sim sports where it is team based, there's usually, like I said, a manager or coach who's doing the game plan and whatnot. And what I found in almost every sport, or esport, or sim sport, the coach will tell you how to progress. And some people are cool with that. If that's how you want to do things, that's cool. It's some people just do these sim sports just to be a part of a community. It's a good way to make friends, even if they're not friends you're ever going to meet, or you may. There are leagues that are big enough uh, where they have conventions, and you can go and meet people you are doing these esports or sim sports with. And anyway, if you want to just let your coach, manager, whatever, tell you how to progress, that's fine. But like someone like me, like sim sports now, um, because of COVID pretty much wiped out all the local sports I was involved with. I was involved in basketball, football, soccer, and I was kind of getting away from softball just because there was no teams. But yeah, so I wasn't doing that anyway. So pretty much because of COVID, all those leagues I was involved in either folded when COVID happened or a little after COVID happened. So my only competition fix is playing darts once a week, which is cool, but it's not enough. That's why I do these sim sports. But I want to play, and the only way you can really play is by doing the progression. You choose your own progression. That's how you play. What else can you do other than at the end of the season change teams and then just listen to another coach tell you what to do? I'm not down with that. That's my big problem. Coaches, managers in these leagues need to not need to just let people do them. You know what I mean? Let me do me. Let everyone do them. If you don't like the way people progress, if you don't like how they're building their character, release them, cut them, don't re-sign them, whatever the options are. Now, me personally, even though I do want to progress, how I want to progress, I still listen to advice sometimes. It depends on the situation. Like, there's a league where you get 3 progression points a week. So I put 1 progression into where I'd watch the game and it's like, oh, say it's football. I dropped the pass. Well, I need to increase my catch. So 1 point would go to that. 1 point would go to where I felt like best kind of described me as a player in real life. And then the 3rd point would go to wherever the coach wanted. But then there's other leagues, there's like, you get 2 progression points. It's like, all right, then I'll rotate it to where 1 week I progress based off of what I saw in the game, and then the coach's suggestion. And then the next week it'll be, I'll do a 1 attribute point towards, an attribute that, reflects how I play, or my attributes IRL. And then the other one would be, I lost my, would be, what I'd see in the game. And then the next week it'd be coach, and then IRL. And then the next week it'd be what I saw in the game, and then what the coach says. And then the next week it'd be IRL, and then what I saw in the game. Kind of a cycle. And even if it's just 1 progression point, each week is one of those 3. So it's not like that I'm just don't want to listen to the coach, but I still want to play. I still want to decide what I do. And that's one of the biggest problems for me and a lot of players. Like the ones who want to do whatever you want to do. So what I'm saying is, in conclusion, coaches to these sim leagues, and I'll tell you my perfect situation right now, is I'm on a team in the Simulation Football League. I will put a link to their website if you'd like to be interested. Which is part of the Virtual Football Network. They actually have 2 leagues that are vastly different. I'm only in the SFL though. They also have the UFL, YOUFL. Anyway, I'll put a link for the SFL. But I'm in a great situation with that team. They're there if I have questions or want advice or just be told what to upgrade. They'll tell me. Like, most of the time, I've just progressed whatever I wanted. But last week, I actually asked. I was like, you think I should do this or this? And they gave me their opinion, and I took that into consideration, and that's how I progressed. But on the flip, I'm in a rugby league, and I love the rugby league. But the situation where I would put in my progression, and before the league enters a progression into my player, the coach is like, hey, can you do this instead? I was like, okay. And then it became every week. He's like, do this, do this, do this, do this. And then it becomes the point where either I'm an a-hole, I'm being disrespectful to the coach, but it kills my motivation to be in the league. Or I just do what I want, and then I'm the a-hole. And I've been just doing what he's been telling me. And then they were like, before this deadline, I'll let anyone on the team, if you're thinking about retiring from the league, let me know. And I gave him it's not, it doesn't help this league is based out of Australia, so games are 1 a.m. But I was fine with that up until lately. Now it's like, I do have a little less time to watch the games, but I have less motivation to watch games because I'm not progressing myself. I'm just doing what I'm being told. And it's boring, and it makes me not give a crap. Apparently we're on a 3-game winning streak, and I'm a big part of it, so I'm being told after I send in my, I'm probably going to retire DM to the manager. But I don't care. It's not interesting. I feel bad If I leave, I think there's still like time to change my mind. I mean, I feel bad that I'm leaving, and I feel bad that me being a part of this team is helping the team, and I want to leave. But it's, you know, I hate to say, oh, you got to do what's best for you because it's only a game, and really just progression. Since I'm not watching the game, I'm just doing what being told. It takes about 2 minutes out of my week. So I could just keep playing, but I don't want to. It's dumb to just be a relay for someone else to have an extra player that just has my name on it. Because that's what it is. When a manager is like steadfast on what he wants, it's just him with an extra. He gets an extra player. And like the rugby league doesn't. It's free. But the SFL, when I first started that and got on a pro team, because they have a minor system until you get to the pros, that is a pay league. It's a monthly subscription. And when I first started, I got on a team. I was like, yo, this is how I progress. And they had the 3-point system at first. And I was told them, like, I like to do something that reflects me in real life. I like to watch the game and see where the weakness was in my game. And then I'll do whatever the coach says for the 3rd point. They're like, oh, okay. Then they drafted me, and then they're like, all right, we should talk about a progression plan for the season. It's like, okay. And then I was like, here's what I'm thinking. And then their response was like, here's your progression, do this. I'm like, what? I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be a team player and just leave after the season. So, we had a couple games. I'm not being used much because I'm, new. Like I was a tight end doing special teams. And I was only out there mostly for blocking. Very rare any running routes as a tight end. And when it was a pass, I was running routes. It was obvious, like, just take people away for other people to catch the ball. Because a lot of the routes was like me and the other tight end running flies together, which, if you throw to that, that's kind of dumb because it only takes one defender to guard 2 players who are going to be right next to each other. Anyway, we had a preseason where we were getting burnt on special teams, and we lost the game in the first 2 weeks because of special teams. So I was like, so I go to the team and like, hey, since my blocking has been fine, like you couldn't find a clip of me like doing a bad block or losing a block or a bad run block or anything like that. Like anything they were telling me to progress, watch the game, you wouldn't think I needed it. But what was obvious is I could have used a little more speed on special teams, and then they wrote a book about why. I mean, not an actual book, but it was a long message about why I should just go along with what they're saying. It was like, and like the main thing was, oh, well, you're not going to be faster than the kick returner. Which you don't need to be faster than the kick returner. You just got to get side to side before he passes you with 10 other players. So you don't need to be faster, but than the kick returner or punt returner, but you do need to have some speed. And that's what I told him. I was like, oh, no, you don't need that. And so I was like, all right, I'll just shut up and just progress however you want, and then I'll leave. I got to the point where, like I was saying with rugby, I didn't care. Like, there'd be games, our games would happen, like, while I was at work. And I'd watch it later. And then it got to a point to where I just looked up what happened. And when I did that, I was like, why am I paying a monthly fee to play this game? And it's to the point where I don't give a crap. So at that point, I just decided to be the a-hole and just progress how I wanted. Especially with the way they just kind of ignored the conversation of how should I progress. I was like, all right, we're going to have this discussion how to progress. All right, we're ready to have it. Do this. Bye. What? All right, I'm rambling on. I think I said in conclusion about 10 minutes ago. So yeah, that's just want to get that off my chest. I'm like, maybe I don't leave the Simulation Rugby League, which is a great league, but like I said, it's not entertaining when I'm just doing the work, even if it's free. Like, it's not entertaining to just do the work for someone else to have a character with my name on it. Because that's what it's like, for me at least. Like I said, if you want to just be a part of the community and then upgrade, progress how a manager wants you to, exactly how he wants you to, that's fine. Cool. Do you, boo. But that's not me. I don't like it. Managers should be like what I got going on at Oklahoma City Renegades and SFL, where you do you. You want advice. You want a progression plan. They'll provide it. But do you if you want to do you, and that's what I want to do. I want to do me, and that's what I'm suggesting to all simulation team or simulation sports team managers, coaches. Let players do them. If you don't like what they do, boot them. Don't make a big deal about it. Maybe you should grow up. Maybe you should realize these people are trying to have fun. Maybe they're trying to do them. You shouldn't be a crybaby about. I'm not calling the SRL the rugby league. I'm talking about some of the people in other sports, because the rugby people have been cool. I really haven't challenged the whole rugby thing because also I haven't had a lot of time to watch these games because they're at 1 a.m. and whatnot. I'm trying to go to sleep at decent hours, even though I traditionally stay up late. I'm trying to go to bed by like 10, 11, 12, 1 at the latest. Not staying up to 1 just to start watching a game or wait till 2 or 3 or later to watch these games anymore, even though I'd love to. But yeah, it's yeah. So if dude from rugby is listening, bro, we're cool. It just like I've told him it's just not motivating for me to just go through the motions for someone else to have my player, or for someone else to have an extra player with my name on it. Okay, I don't know if you heard that, but we'll take that as that 10-second bell, or 10-second you get in boxing. All right, but yeah, that's my thoughts. If you comment, questions, if you're interested in the Simulation Football League, I'll put a link in the description if I remember. Like, subscribe to notifications. Back to Brag Sports is actually going to have a simulation league soon. There's been a couple of podcasts. And keep your eye out for that. Like, subscribe to notifications, follow, all that, comment, and that's everything. Peace.